Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Paige Evans design team, and this week we were asked to make layouts using our favorite technique. Well, I could not just pick one, so I chose a few of my favorite techniques, and I've already done a little bit of prep work here, and I'll show you what this is all about here, but I want to show you what I'm using. I'm using mostly papers from the 6x6 paper pads from Oh My Heart, Take Me Away, and Fancy Free, which are all three of Paige's current collections. I also used a little bit from the Fancy Free and Oh My Heart 12x12 paper pads. And I cut a bunch of squares in 2x2 increments or sizes, and I found a fun quote on Pinterest. This is one of my favorite techniques, is to create a really big title or a long title and make that a focus of my background design. And my quote is going to be, in a world of Cheerios, or in a world full of Cheerios, be a Fruit Loop. Because that suits my youngest child to a T. And it's funny because she's addicted to Cheerios, but she acts like a Fruit Loop. So I have these fun pictures of her being her, making faces at the camera. She's definitely a silly goose. And I want to have a really bright and colorful background. And so I peeled off all the letters and kind of arranged them how I think I'm going to go. Look at her face. She's a hot mess. And then I finally get the good picture. I'm going to put that one in the center. Well, not that the other pictures aren't good, but I get the actual smile without the goofy eyes, silly grins and stuff. But I cherish those pictures because they fit her personality. So my background paper is going to be paper 11 from the Take Me Away collection. I decided to use another one of my favorite techniques, which is bright colors. And of course you can guess my other favorite technique. You probably knew I was going to do this. Yes, definitely mixed media. That's by far and away my most favorite technique. And so I'm going to smudge some gesso down. And this just looks like a big white blob at this point. But give me some time here and I'm going to jazz it up with some shimmers. Shimmers are watercolor. If you're unfamiliar with shimmers, they are a brand of watercolor paints and they are beautiful. This pink color that I'm using is actually one of the brand new release colors. It was just released a few weeks ago. It's a creamies and it's called One Hot Mama. I think it's my new favorite pink. It is a beautiful hot pink that's just, I love it. It's so pretty. It's my first time using it, and I'm pairing it up with a coral color called Grapefruit. And all I'm doing is trying to add some color to all this white space that I just put on there with the gesso. And I want some really fun watercolor splotches to show around all of those colorful letters. And so I'm using the packaging technique, which I love, and using a little bit of my brush. I'm using some, splatters from the brush, and just putting some color down. Obviously, the background is yellow, and so that's going to show a lot. So I'm trying to add some of the other colors that I've got going on. This is another shimmers. This one's a spray, and it's called Blue Jeans, and it's that perfect periwinkle color, the blue shade. Sometimes it looks kind of purple, sometimes it looks kind of blue, but it's very pretty. And I'm just, again, adding some color down. I'm not trying to get it in a specific shape or anything like that. I just want it to look kind of messy and artsy and colorful. And I'm giving a little bit of drying time in between each layer of color. I did decide to add a couple of yellow sprays. This is another shimmers called No Yoking, and it's a little different shade of the yellow of the paper, but I didn't want to completely cover the yellow, so I just decided to add a little bit more in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of teal. This is called Well Blew Me Down, and it's a shimmers as well. And I'm trying not to overlap the colors that much. I'm trying to keep everything a little bit separate, even though it kind of will have the effect of it looks like it's blending together, but I didn't want any colors to get kind of muddy or anything. So okay, this is kind of the direction that I want to go. I like all the colors. Now I can see the color of the letter and what it looks like on the paper, and so if I want to darken up a color or change it, I'm going to use my gelatos here to do that. And I'm just smudging it down onto the paper. It's kind of like a tube of lipstick, and then I'm just smudging it with my finger. Since it's still not completely dry and I've got all that gesso on there, the gelatos smudge and blend very easily, and they're very creamy, and so they smudge really easily, especially with your hand. And you can add water. I'm adding a dab of water on some of the spots there just to aid in the blending process. And I love to layer different things together. Like I've got the gesso, I've got the shimmers, and now the gelato. And just to create your own colors and to add different shades here and there, the gelatos are perfect for that. And so I just want the colors of the letters to stand out, and so that's why I'm going back over it with the gelatos in some areas. And I decided I need a little bit more pink at the top. And this is why I'm such a slow scrapbooker, because backgrounds take me a while. When it's something like this and I've got a lot of, you know, letters and I want all of them to show up so you can actually read the title, I have to kind of put them on and take them off and add paint and color this and add this and change that, just to make sure that it looks like I want it to look, because I want to be happy with it at the end, and I want to be satisfied with how it looks, and I want to be able to look at this and actually read those letters, because if it blends into the background, then you can't really see what it says. And it's already very busy and very colorful, but you know, these are my favorite types of layouts to make. I love getting messy and just having fun with color. And sometimes I don't know when to stop. As you can see, I just keep going and keep going. We're already 6.5 minutes into this video and I'm still making the background. And that's sped up. In real time, it takes me a while to get these backgrounds done. But that's okay, because it's fun. It's if this wasn't fun for me, then I wouldn't do it, but I really do enjoy it. So I just keep adding color where I think it needs to be. And you can see that this is just a sheet of pattern paper, and it's not warping hardly at all. The gesso helps with that. And also what I'm going to do is let this dry overnight, and I'm going to put something heavy on top of the entire thing, so in the morning it's going to be flat. Alright, so now everything's dry and I like how the background is, and I'm going to start to add a little dab of glue and get those letters down. And I played around with the placement. I tried to make the title kind of crooked and everything, but there was just so much of it that I just decided to do it straight and centered. I am going to do the pictures kind of in a straight line. I play around with this for a little bit. I wanted to add a little bit of a background to kind of make them stand out against all that mixed media. So I chose this paper. I know it has a number, but I pulled it from the 12 by 12 paper pad from Fancy Free. So I don't know the number of this paper right off the top of my head, but it's a really pretty light aqua teal color with some arrows going through it. And I'm going to use that as a little horizontal base for my pictures. And I kind of want this to, you know, this is going to be a messy layout. It's about my crazy messy child, and so these type of layouts are perfect for her. And so I'm going to add some torn up tissue paper under the pictures, and I'm going to situate them a little bit crooked. I don't want them perfectly uniform and straight, so I'm going to kind of overlap the two on the left and then make the one on the right a little bit crooked, and I'm doing that on purpose. Now, I play around with a lot of embellishments here. These are the wood veneer from Fancy Free. And I couldn't make any of them work around the pictures. I didn't want to take away from the pictures. And, you know, when I make a layout like this, I have to take into consideration that it's already really busy. All those words, all those colors. So I want to embellish in ways that's going to enhance everything and not become a distraction. So I'm adding just little things here. That's a little bit of that torn floral washi tape from the Oh My Heart sticker book. And then there's a couple of these little stickers that I'm going to stick around the in 3 different spots on top of the words. For sure, and go for it, and totally. I just think those are cute, and the colors match. And that's one of the little rose gold stickers that says the little things. And that's a little heart that says love you. I'm just trying to add little bits and pieces here and there. Now I did some stitching off camera with some yellow thread. I just went through each line, and you know, it's very subtle and it matches the background, and up close you can see it, and it's, you know, I didn't want it to be a distracting color, so I didn't use black because black would really stand out. And I'm going to add some black splatters later to kind of pull out the black from the pictures. And I do have black in a couple of the letters. So here's my thread. You know I love to add my thread. I've got some pink on the right and some teal on the left. And again, I just think it adds to the whole messy factor and adds pops of color, adds texture. These are what I have left over from the Fancy Free buttons, and I'm just going to play around with those. I'm dying to add something right there on top of the pictures, but I just have to find the right embellishment that's not too big. And so this is what I find. I find some of the chipboard stickers from Oh My Heart. I have a couple of hearts and little flowers. I'm going to use that little chipboard flower down at the bottom, and it's that periwinkle color. These are the Oh My Heart puffy stickers. So I'm going to add a couple of flowers as well. Another little heart right there in the middle. And then I really wanted to use this multicolor scalloped border piece. And so what I'm going to wind up doing is cutting it in half and using it on each side of the pictures. And I love that little pop of color and interest that that gives without being too busy or too much. Just gives a little interest there. And, you know, because my goal for every layout that I make, my goal is always to make my pictures stand out. And, you know, when I have a really busy title or a really busy design, you have to be careful that you don't drown your photos out. I'm going to wind up using 2 of those buttons. Actually, I use more, but right now I only have 2, one on the right and one on the left. And then I add one more little heart sticker, and that is from the Fancy Free puffy stickers. It's so fun to go through all these collections and mix and match everything, because everything winds up matching and looking great together. That's a little puffy sticker that says Wonderful Day. And then on the Fancy Free puffy stickers, there's these little tiny different color X's. Never used those before, so I thought, let's use them up now. Now to make the letters stand out a little more, I'm going to take my black Sharpie and just very lightly and in a sketchy way kind of trace and add some little shadowing effects to my letters, and now you can really see them a little bit better. And then I'm going to add one straight line of journaling down at the bottom, just talking about my silly goofy child. And then I'm going to add the date, some black splatters. This is another Shimmers. It's called Night Moves, and it's just your basic black. And one of the last things I'm going to do is reach into my stash of sequins and add some yellow and some pink. These are from Spiegel Mom's Scraps, and I have been loving adding those to layouts. And there's my final layout. I love how this turned out. You know I love me some bright colors. I love a big title. I love the mixed media. I just never get sick of doing the watercolor or playing with gelatos or the packaging technique. It's just fun. I truly do love it, and I most always love the result. And this turned out to be really fun. So it was really a lot of fun to put together. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, make sure you check out Paige's blog, because she's always posting gorgeous layouts of her own, as well as the design team, and lots of inspiration. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.